needs to earn substantial profits to support a family.
We place a great deal of emphasis on the training because in the cases of our clients, they don't have the ability to, or the resources to fail and maybe bounce back.
I'm not going to drive. I don't know. What about you? My day starts at 5:30 in the morning. And it ends maybe 12 at night. Some nights it's longer.
Not everyone is able or willing to meet the challenges of self-employment.
You really have to be committed, and you have to have your foundation set, and you have to have your mind made up. Okay, bye. Hit that band. Y'all be good.
It is for people with a lot of spunk and spirit, and in some cases some entrepreneurial history in their families. Hard-working folks who are determined to make a living for themselves and their families. It is not for people who aren't driven with a lot of spirit.
Both of them our daily programs that we have for this weekend. Both of them rehearsal, there'll be a rehearsal that we can enjoy. In the name of Jesus, we pray, amen.
Amen. My mother and father had an upholstery business when I was growing up, and we'd get in and help them out sometime. And my mother was always making little arts and crafts, doing things like that, making rings.
It's so hard to get along. I tell you, it's so hard.
I have 3 sisters, 3 brothers, and I'm the oldest of all.
It's so hard.
My whole life is centered around my family, you know, and singing is my life.
Can't hardly get along. I just can't seem to.
No single program is ever going to solve the problems of really depressed areas in this country. When we begin to think about we use the word of economic revitalization. Many of these areas have never been vitalized. So it's not revitalization, it's starting from scratch or starting from a low level. That's a hard fight, and it's not anything that anybody can do by themselves.
In fact, the Good Faith Fund does not act alone. It is part of the Southern Development Bank Corporation. Southern is one of a handful of pioneering banks called Community Development Financial Institutions, or CDFIs, which use commercial investments to achieve community development goals. Southern uses several for-profit and non-profit subsidiaries to inject capital into the Delta on many levels. The money is invested in ventures such as mid-sized manufacturers and housing projects.
Our basic assumption is that you cannot do rural economic development with one tool. You want to be able to mix and match your skills and your resources to the needs.
But it's good, Ed. You're building up expertise.
The Good Faith Fund has also formed partnerships with local banks. Mark Price is a loan officer for First National Bank of Phillips County.
We're a small community bank in Arkansas with assets of about $100 million. I'm a liaison between the bank and the community. I do a lot of speaking to communities, church groups, and a lot of extracurricular activities for the bank.
We provide the bank with an opportunity to say something other than no. They can refer people to the Good Faith Fund for assistance. We have relied on the banks to share their expertise in the training of our staff, to be kind of executives on loan to us.
Well, how's your credit? Oh, it's pretty good. I'm ready to roll.
I mean, this new building is not going to just provide you with more storage space.
Oh, I need to move them. I can't make any money with the clothes hanging on the line. You know.
A recent study by the Aspen Institute indicates that credit, combined with training, can have an impact.
Of the poor population who were poor at the beginning of the study, a full quarter of them were able to make the hurdle over the poverty line in a 3-year period, which is startling. Most of the employment and training programs in this country have some 4, 5, 10% success rates.
Movement, how will that affect your customers? Do you think people will take the time to try to find a new location?
This new cleaners that we purchased is much bigger, and the best part about it, we'll own it. Where we are now, we're leasing that. We use our own money to buy the building. This is something that we come out of our pocket with. And Good Faith Fund, we'll use having them to renovate this building. And the bank, we're going to try to get our equipment financed with them. And the hookup and everything is already here. It was an existing business, right?
One reason for micro-enterprise development's apparent effectiveness may be its focus on ownership and the building of assets.
Almost half of the entrepreneurs in our study have had very significant increases in their assets, in their household and their business assets. There will be significant discussion of this in policy circles going forward, that the way that people really get out of poverty is by accumulating assets, not just by accumulating income.
There's a saying that income feeds people's stomachs, but assets change their heads. And we've noted time and time again those effects. People begin to be more future-oriented. They think about the future more, and they believe that they have more power to control their lives.
I hope my kids will carry on, you know, what I'm doing as far as the cleaning business, laundry and cleaning. So I'm trying to instill in them, you know, be self-employed, entrepreneur, you know. Work for yourself. Control your own money. Of course, you think Uncle Sam controls it by the time taxes get through whooping you.
Hard trial, we're gonna make and tribulation. We're gonna make it. Ups and downs, we're gonna make it. Sure gonna make
Great. So we are going to cut that off there. If anyone's interested in seeing the rest of that, I'd be happy to loan you the DVD. Great. So we have a really great speaker here to talk to us today. I'm going to introduce Loren Berlin. Loren, as I mentioned before, served for a year in AmeriCorps, working with Accion in Texas, and she also worked as a loan officer for a year. She's currently employed at Self-Help in Durham, so she's here to tell us a little bit about her experience with domestic microfinance. Warm welcome.
I'm just going to sit down. I apologize for my hair. By the end of the day, I just need it on my face. It's too short otherwise. Go back and point out. Yeah, so I'm Loren Berlin, and I was invited to speak about domestic microfinance. I should make clear I haven't done it in a while, and so what I thought might be useful would be to give you a quick rundown on what my background is, and what I did with domestic microfinance and why I left the domestic finance, and then what I do now, and any questions you have.